Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, world, and welcome to yet another fun-filled episode here with us on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. Yes, thank you. As we will embark upon what will be another great episode this morning, we thank you all for chopping it up with us, and we thank you in advance for a time that will be had. And so, yes, well, we are back like a shark attack, back like we left something, back like we ain't got no clothes on our back, and for the world is a better place in the moment when the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast is taking place. And so, thank you for tuning in with us this morning as we converse about the latest sports topics that have taken place in this past week or will be upcoming this week. It is always a blast to have you all tune in to participate with us every weekend. As a reminder that every week we always like to begin our podcast by reminding our audience that the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast can be found on Facebook via our two Facebook pages, the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast community page, as well as additionally our Early Morning Sports Talk podcast Facebook page. You can additionally find us on Instagram at EMSTP underscore, again on IG at EMSTP underscore, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify as the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, as well as our own Facebook pages via Brandon Price, Jamar Goodman, and Jones, as well as our guests for that weekend. Today is May the 31st, the last day of May of 2025, and we have seen yet again another fascinating week in the sports world. Where we saw the Oklahoma City Thunder take out and demolish the Minnesota Timberwolves in five. High five, 95-25, Oklahoma City Thunder in five. They took care of the Timberwolves in very tremendous fashion. Defensively, they were Piranha's team is young. That's the scary part. So they are on their way to the NBA Finals first trip. And congrats to that organization, Sam Presti, those guys. They've held that ship tight in OKC. It's been a great organization since it's been created. On the other hand, additionally, we saw the New York Knicks force a game six. They took care of the Indiana Pacers in game five. And so Indiana, they are on their way. Well, at this point, they're back in Indianapolis. And I got to check, but I believe that game six might be tonight. And so the Indiana Pacers have their chance to clinch their berth into the NBA Finals, which will be this franchise's first NBA Finals since 2000, 25 years ago when they played the Lakers. Um, Additionally, our Chicago Cubs, and I love the Cubs, but I really love the Sox. I love both, but it's always a good thing to see the Chicago Cubs, Jamar, do well. Right now, man, C.A. Suzuki, he is really my front runner. It's, of course, between him and his buddy for the Los Angeles Dodgers. They are both the front runners for NL MVP, FYI world. And so CEO Suzuki is doing very well. He kicking butt with the Chicago Cubs, and they are second place in the National League. On the other hand, the NHL playoffs continue, and now we have our Stanley Cup matchup, if I'm not mistaken. And I got to verify, but I know for sure that the Eastern Conference has been settled. And as I told you, Jamar, the Florida Panthers have their little dynasty going, bro. They have went to their third straight Stanley Cup final, and they will face the Edmonton Oilers. FYI, Edmonton, Alberta, on the West Coast, beautiful city. I had a chance to go through Edmonton once, bro. It's a very nice place. And so the Edmonton Oilers versus the Florida Panthers for the NHL Stanley Cup, bro. And so with that being said, introducing my brother from another mother and my partner here on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, Mr. Jamar Goodman. Mr. Jamar Goodman, good morning, sir. How are you?
Man, Brandon, I'm good. I'm glad to be here. It's Saturday. A couple of these sports are starting to get to their finals here. Memorial Day was last weekend, the unofficial beginning of the summer. I mean,
Right.
we good, man. How are you?
I'm good, bro. I'm great, man. It is Saturday. It's another day that the Lord has made. I'm rejoicing and being glad in it. I'm good, bro. No complaints.
Big facts.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so, with that being said, Jamal, let's get into it, bro. The NBA playoffs. It is coming to a climax. We are almost near the NBA Finals. And so we only got two more games guaranteed in the Eastern Conference, ladies and gentlemen. And so the Indiana Pacers, they play the New York Knicks tonight, bro. Let's start with that series. And we'll get obviously to the Oklahoma City Thunder and what they did in the Western Conference. But you are right in that land. You are right in that area. What is it like in Indiana? And I got just a few questions for you. But your thoughts thus far from this series, and what do you think is going to happen tonight?
All right. So as far as this series, look, as we discussed, like the Pacers and their style of play gives New York Knicks problems, and it has been very evident in this series for the most part. Um,
Mm-hmm.
for them to be up 3-1 going, back to MSG in Game 5. I think Game 5 was more so about the New York Knicks and their ability to, go down swinging type deal to, giving them everything they got to extend the series. And it
Mm-hmm.
was the fact that they limit the Pacers to 94 points in that game. The fact that Tyrese Halliburton only shot the ball 8 times, had under 10 points in that game. The
Yeah,
assist was
he was
low.
terrible.
It was just not a good game all around for him. I think Pascal Siakam had a solid game. I think Mathurin had a solid game. Other than that, it was just uh, it was pretty lackluster for the Pacers, and I think the
Mm-hmm.
Knicks themselves just fed off the garden. Brunson came to play early and often in that game. Karl Anthony Towns balling off that bum knee that he has. The crowd, the environment, everybody was into it. I pretty much watched that game start to finish. I mean, that was one of the games that you expect the Knicks to come out and give it everything they got. Now, with all that being said, um, yeah, I do live in Indiana, even though I don't nowhere near where the Pacers play, and
Mm-hmm.
and you already know my affiliation with that is just non-existent. However, um, I will admit, it
I
is
mean, but
there's a buzz though. There's a buzz around here,
mm-hmm.
and Indianapolis tonight is going to be live, and I expect the Pacers to do what the Knicks did to them in Game 5 for the Pacers to do to the Knicks in Game 6 tonight. I do expect this series to be over, and it's just because of what I've been preaching before the series started. It's just the style of play. It's not a good matchup for the Knicks.
Right.
Halliburton comes in and when they run the double screen, high screen, pick action, it creates problems for the Knicks defensively.
Yep.
Um, they run such a fast pace. That's been their thing, their MO the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Pacers play with an underdog mentality, even though they're technically favorites tonight and to technically win the series, but they always had that underdog mantra, and they are very well coached by a championship head coach and Rick Carlisle. You do have a little bit of championship pedigree with Pascal Siakam as well, who's been there, got it done, and I feel like he's been an excellent player for them in their system ever since they got him at last year's trade deadline. It just, and then we talked about it, the depth of this team. They get throw a lot of guys that can score at you. If I'm not mistaken, seven guys that average double
Yeah.
digit points in
Mm-hmm.
for the season. You got D. Smith and Nembhard and Mathurin and T.J. McConnell. Uh, I mean, the list goes on. Like, and that's just supporting cast guys. We didn't even mention the Miles Turners of the world. So all in all, man, Pacers should get it done. We should see a Thunder Pacers NBA Finals. I know two small markets in the NBA Finals, but
Right.
hey, this is where we're at in 2025. The way that the league rules have navigated over the years, and pretty much quote unquote killed the super team era where it's like really diabolical to have 3 players on darn near max contracts. The last team that tried to do that is in the epic abyss, and that is the Phoenix Suns right now. And you see how that's happening is not a good look. So yeah, with the second apron and all that stuff, it has created more balance in the NBA, and this is what we got. And hey, I'm all for it because it is a breath of fresh air. We're gonna have a champion that hasn't been a champion either ever or a very, very long time. So here you go.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm super excited because if the Indiana Pacers, Oklahoma City Thunder play in the NBA Finals, um, this is what you want to see from a basketball perspective. This is going to be a fantastic matchup. I just hope that the Indiana Pacers don't go 7 games with the Knicks because then their legs will start to burn out on them. But I want to at least see the Indiana Pacers semi-refreshed. The NBA Finals start next Thursday, FYI. And so the Pacers were to take care of business tonight, bro. That'll get them, 5 days rest. Thunder be coming off 8 days rest. And so the Pacers, my point is that tonight is urgent, bro. For me, the Pacers have to take care of business tonight because if they don't, there's just a variety of reasons why it will be a bad look. You have now, this will be, if you lose tonight, this will be your 3rd chance. Game 7 would. And I want to put this out there as well that it's pressure on the Pacers, bro. The Pacers haven't faced pressure in a while, but it's pressure on the Pacers. You know why, Jamar? Because if they lose tonight, they got to go back to Madison Square Garden for Game 7, in which we remember it took a Tyrese Halliburton miracle and obviously an Aaron Nesmith miracle. It took all of that, and the Knicks technically could be up 3-2 in this series.
You're right.
I'm just saying, technically.
You're right.
And so,
absolutely,
the Indiana Pacers, put this out here in the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast. You better take care of business tonight, because if not, it's going to be an ugly look if you got to go back to New York for Game 7 in the Garden. They're going to be loud as hell. They want to go to the finals. Everybody and their mama want to see the finals in New York. Everybody would love to see that. People don't even care if they lose. New York is like, they're going to make so much damn money, Jamar. All the models going to be there. All the celebrities going to be there. All the rappers going to be there. All the chefs that got good restaurants in New York going to be there. All the mobsters going to be there. All the pastors going to be there. All the white people going to be there. All the bankers going to be there. All of Wall Street going to be there. All of the drug dealers going to be there. Everybody named Mama going to be there in New York for the NBA Finals. Ain't nobody coming to Indianapolis. No disrespect, but ain't nobody coming to Indianapolis. And so my whole point is this. Indiana, you better take care of business tonight, because if you don't, I'm here to say, if you don't, the New York Knicks going to beat y'all ass in a street fight in Game 7. And they going to make sure this time they don't miss laying the dragon. So the Indiana Pacers better take care of business tonight. And look, Jamar, as we know, styles present matchups. The Indiana Pacers present a tough matchup for the New York Knicks, and they better show it tonight early and often. Soon as that bell ring, soon as that buzzer ring, them fists need to be swinging. They need to throw their jabs quickly, immediately. Don't wait. 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, no, fuck that. 1st quarter, immediately. Soon as the game begin, it needs to be a message sent. We trying to kill y'all, and we ain't trying to give you no room to breathe at all. That needs to be their mentality tonight. Starting tonight, 1st quarter, soon as the bell ring.
You're right. You're absolutely right. It needs to be a track meet right out the gate. Pacers need to dictate
the Pacers'
the pace.
Pace was terrible Game 5. I mean, it was awful.
Yeah, it felt
they
like
had no pace
at all. It's like one of those where I would throw the game away. Just throw it away. Just forget about it. Just play your game. Game 6.
Right. Right. And that's what it seemed like it was for me a little bit. It seemed like the Pacers just threw in the towel. They like, all right, we're not gonna win this. Let's just prepare to get back for game. Because I saw the starters out early. Tyrese
Yeah.
Halliburton, he played in the fourth quarter late, but he knew the game was over. He
Yeah,
knew it was over when it was 3 minutes. Like
yeah,
he
they
was
checked
taking
them out
layups.
quick. They checked them out right at that point. I'm like, okay, well, they know.
They throwing in the towel. They say let's go back to let's go back to Naptown. Let's go back to Naptown. And so Naptown about to show up tonight, because if Naptown don't show up tonight and you got to go back to New York, and which in game 1 you had a miracle, then you in some deep shit, because game 7 gonna be in New York and they gonna be loud as hell, and they gonna really want to go to the finals, because I'm gonna repeat, Jamar, all the models gonna be there, all the celebrities gonna be there. All the drug dealers gonna be there. All the pastors gonna be there. All the police gonna be there. All the NBA players and NFL players gonna be there.
Yeah.
All the models gonna be there. You get my point. Everybody and their mama gonna be. People overseas gonna want to watch this. Oh, New York in the NBA Finals. What do you think people overseas go, Jamar, when they visit the United States?
New York. That's the first place.
The first place.
The
I try to
first
tell them
place.
about Chicago. I'd be like, hey, Chicago is great. You see my shirt, Chicago. I try to tell them, Chicago is fantastic. Oh, no, I know New York. I want to visit New York, the Big Apple, the Statue of Liberty. I'm like, New York dirty. But they like, I want to visit New York. And so this is what people think of when they think of the United States, bro. And so people overseas going to be all tuned in if New York goes to the NBA Finals.
You're right. I mean, New York is the biggest market in this country by far. By far.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I get it. I do believe, Indiana shows up tonight. I believe the crowd shows up tonight. I strongly believe that. Now, let's say in the event they do go back to game, if there is a game 7, they go back to New York, I wouldn't necessarily count out the Pacers just yet, but
they're going to have it rough.
It will be a daunting task. But
I know that for sure.
We've seen something like somewhat similar to this. Remember, was it 2 years ago?
You talking about Boston and Miami?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Where we thought it was going to be a wrap. The fact that the Heat blew game 6 at home and they had to go to game 7. I think that was a 3-0 lead, and then went back 3-3. We thought we were going to see the first time ever, and then the Heat took care of business. And so I do still give Pacers a punch chance, but this is your best opportunity by far. You got to take full advantage of it. Neither team, so check it out. Knicks ain't been to the finals since 99. Pacers ain't been to the finals since 2000. So, I mean, it's pretty much the same time frame for either one of these teams. So, look, it's like all the marbles on the line tonight. Tonight is their game 7. That's what it feels like. So, you got to get it done.
You got to get it done, man. But I want to say that this has been, even though it's been a Pacers type of vibe this entire series, it's good to see both of these markets and both of these teams, in the Eastern Conference Finals. It just brings me back to those days where the Knicks, Pacers, all those wonderful playoff battles. And even after, Jordan, you remember the Eastern Conference, it was between New York and Indiana for 3 years after Jordan left. And so both of these teams, they got history for sure. So it's going to be interesting, man, to see what happened game 6 tonight. Like you say, Indiana got to take care of business. On the other hand, bro, your Oklahoma City Thunder, man. I want to say this, Jamar. I don't know if anybody beating them. I think the championship is theirs. It's going to take hell and hard water for somebody to beat the Thunder. They're that good.
They are.
And this is without big superstars. This is without a great number 2, as we say. No disrespect to Jalen Williams. He's a nice number 2, but he ain't Kevin Durant. You get my point?
No, not at all. So this is crazy because this pretty much, I don't think we really had a champion that break the mold, if you get what I'm saying, probably since when the Warriors first won their first title. And the reason why I say it like that, because the Warriors was pretty much the first quote unquote jump shooting team to really win a championship. And now you have the Thunder here who pretty much would be, it would seem like the first of its kind, to where the team has been so dominant, but yet they don't get any credit at all. Like the national media, like a lot of, well, I'm gonna say the national, but more so like the average fan still doesn't like understand how good this team is, or why this team is this good, or how good SGA is. I mean, the people, think of him as just a quote unquote free throw merchant because he gets to the free throw line, but the man is about as silky smooth as it becomes. He is an assassin out there. It's like watching how tall is he? What, 6'6", 6'7", like Allen Iverson with a Tracy McGrady type game in the mirror. It's something unique, and he's so dominant with it. And the fact that you have a bunch of players on this team that is not recognizably known across the country, that is pretty good. There's not too many people that know Jalen Williams. I mean, there's people that know Chet Holmgren from his time at Gonzaga and his height coming up, but you start naming everybody else off the bench, there's not too many people that know Lou Dort or the other Jalen Williams, or or the Wiggins guy, or just I don't even remember all the names that's on that bench. That's pretty good.
The truth is, I don't either. I gotta Google, and I'm being honest, world. I gotta Google now. I know of Isdale. I know of Hardenstein, yes. And so I got the roster pulled up, and so AJ Mitchell, he don't play much, but I know Isaiah Joe comes in quite often, as we know. Isaiah Hardenstein. I heard the name Isaiah Hardenstein.
Right, we know
he's
him.
very, very reliable. Came from New York. He's been playing great. Luguentz Dort, man, bro, that man looked like a linebacker, G.
Dude, that's what somebody else said.
I ain't lying. When I watch the game, I'll be like, damn, he built. Dude. Bro, look like he could be like a linebacker for the Bears or something, like a running back or something, like a fullback. And and that ain't even to, like, that's why I think he's so great defensively. I watched the game the other day, G. He was running through the screens. You know how a linebacker go with their arms? He running through their ass, like, move. He running through Rudy Gobert, move. He running through Naz Reid, move. He running through Anthony Edwards, move. Literally. And so can't nobody block him, in other words. I know we talking about I don't know why we talking football terms. But can't nobody block him, G. Can't nobody, like, he fighting through screens like a linebacker, bro. And that's to mention, like, he is the first screen. Why I keep mentioning football? He's the starter, okay? But then the worst part is that you got Alex Caruso, the specialist, coming behind him. So it's like piranhas. And this is why I say SGA, bro. I keep saying this. I say this every week. He is an all-NBA defender.
He is.
Isaiah Hardenstein coming from New York. You think he's not going to defend coming from Tom Thibodeau?
Right.
I mean, like, they're everywhere. Jalen Williams is a great defender. He will shut your top man down. Jalen Williams himself.
I mean, heck, did we not see what happened in Game 7 against the Nuggets? Where in that second quarter, it was a full-on onslaught, just defense. Every possession, it felt like for like 5 straight possessions was a steal or something.
Just wore them down. Just literally wore them down. And this is what great championship teams do. Championship teams, Jamar, as you notice, Boston, 08 Celtics, Lakers, Bulls, even the Cavaliers when they won in 2016, the Warriors all the years, they would beat you so bad, but they would beat you so bad to the point to where you will be so tired, Jamar, to where your mind just say, excuse my French world, fuck it. We throwing in the towel. We don't have the cardio. We don't have the mental fortitude. This game over. Like, we just gonna come back for another game because they just too tough defensively. They're too tough defensively. And great teams, they will kill you with kill shots. When they know they smell blood, they start taking threes. They start just attacking you. They start making you foul. And they always stay disciplined on defense. I don't know much about this coach for Oklahoma City, man, but that brother right there is a fantastic head coach. And the defensive schemes they got in Oklahoma City, it ain't even nothing special, y'all, but it's special because all they do is hand check. They literally forced Julius Randle to go to his right because he liked to go left. You understand? They forced Mike Conley, who didn't do nothing this series. They probably put him in retirement. Rudy Gobert, they made him look so bad. He probably just need to go ahead and get traded. Anthony Edwards, his commentary was terrible, bro. He was in the media acting as if like he's saying he didn't have a bad game. Yes, he did. He had a shitty series, and he didn't do nothing this series. Maybe a lot of that is credit Oklahoma City Thunder, but there's a lot of people out there that felt like he should have fought more because he didn't. He needs to develop his game, bro, because him trying to do that step back and all that, I mean, that's nice, but you got to find ways, like against the Oklahoma City Thunder, you got to find ways to slow the game down, because if you don't, they just, I can't believe they got so many steals, Jamar. You should have saw how many steals they got. It's about 100 steals, not 100, but at least
right.
about 15 steals. That's a lot of steals for a professional basketball game.
That is. Dude, I just looked. Like, they have 5 players on their team that averaged over 1 steal a game. That's a lot. 5 players that average at least 1 steal a game.
That's a lot.
That is. As far as Anthony Edwards, so I heard Jay Will say this on First Take the other day, and I like wholeheartedly agree with what I'm about to say that Jay Will said. Pretty much, he said something along the lines that, like, even MJ talked to him, and the one thing that's missing that would pretty much transform his whole game at this point, if he can score with his back to the basket.
Right.
If we can start posting up and have a post game with everything else that he's doing, it makes him pretty much unguardable. Because at that point, look, so as far as Anthony Edwards, usually the last couple of years, we get to this point to where he gets to the Western Conference Finals, and then for one reason or another, he's not as assertive or aggressive like he should be. Is it because he's worn out, or he's just really trying to defer mentally, which I don't think is that per se. I want to say is more so maybe he's just worn out from doing all the activity in the first couple rounds. That's what I want to say. But if he does, hear me out. If he does get the post game with what his, if he install that with his current repertoire of his skill set, it allows him not more so the unguardable point, but also it conserves energy. It makes his game more efficient, and it also creates more opportunity for the others, right? Exactly. And even though like he has done a great job this year of being more of a playmaker, because he does average about 6 assists a game, which is excellent for his skill set. But however, like, the post game will definitely even create more efficient opportunities for others, gives him more energy to do what he has to do later on, because he's not, dancing with the ball all the time and, always trying to force his shot off the dribble or something like that. Like, it's a lot of the small things that would make his game and his team that much more. But yeah, I mean, efficient. Yes, he has to do better. They have to tweak the roster again, but the fact that they've been to back-to-back Western Conference Finals,
and that gauntlet of the West is impressive.
Yes, that is. So it's nothing like, I don't want to really take too much away from them. I just think it's just Oklahoma City is just that team, and I can't. If they, they should win the whole thing, and if they do, it's like I can't wait, because it's pretty much like what I said at the beginning. It breaks the mold. It's like it's a copycat league, so teams gonna be wanting to do things like Oklahoma City has done. Homegrown talent, like, they just pretty much, the method is They got a bunch of draft pick years ago. They built up their roster. A lot of these players are homegrown. And what makes it even scarier, what makes this potential dynasty compared to what Boston may have done and the others is the fact that they have cap space. They have 8 first-round picks in the next 5 years. Like, you can pay these
Damn.
players and still have room. Like, it's that bad. It's
Whew.
that bad of a
Say
problem for
8
everybody else.
first-round picks.
Yes, 8 first-round picks. And then just to cap it all off here, let's say if the Pacers play the Thunder in the finals, both teams have gotten here because of Paul George. Both.
Right.
They traded Paul George to rebuild Indiana, which inadvertently got them Tyrese Halliburton in the roster that they have. And Paul George was traded to the Thunder for 5 first-round draft picks, including Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and here we are.
Wow. His ass sitting at home ready to retire. Wow. Yep, that's facts, bro. And I just want to state just really quickly, with the game of Anthony Edwards, it will be super important for him to develop that back to the basket type of game, because then it would allow for Naz Reid. Naz Reid is great, but he can't really put the ball on the floor, bro. He's more of a spot-up shooter. Dante DiVincenzo is a spot-up shooter.
Yeah.
Mike Conley. Mike Conley's a spot-up shooter. These guys do better when they are able to spot up. But if you're putting the ball on the floor, Naz Reid, Julius Randle putting the ball on the floor, this is a recipe for disaster. Julius Randle putting the ball on the floor. Like, they got to be able to be at their specific spots. But if they can't be at their spots, they can't be efficient. And we know with basketball, especially when it comes to real hoopers, you got to get your spot. You got to find your spot. And your spot, sometimes the great ones can shoot everywhere, but most average people, they need their spot. You got to be, okay, this is my spot. I'm going to shoot from this spot. And the Thunder, they took all that away. And so since they're able to take all that away, here we are. They looking dominant right now. So I don't know if anybody beats the Thunder at this point. But we'll see, man. Indiana tonight, big game. Take care of business. If not, then it's going to be a lot of ifs. A lot of ifs if Indiana do not take care of business tonight, bro. Any final thoughts, bro, on the NBA playoffs?
No, I'm pretty much ready for I guess next Thursday, so we can get this NBA finals going, whoever it may be. Like I said, it's a breath of fresh air. So I'm happy either way.
Right. Facts. So yes, bro, take a look. I know you don't want to see that, but at the same time, we are in Chicago. You love the Cubs. I know you don't love them, but you love them. You got a little affection for them, a little bit, I think. I know for me, I got a little affection for the Cubs just because they're from Chicago, and they give you a nice experience when you go to the game, Wrigleyville. You have good fun. You always have fun when you go to the Cubs game, right? So your squad, man, right now, they are where I thought, well, they're not where I thought they would be, but they are where I was told they would be by Chris Ford.
Yeah.
I asked Chris Ford prior to the season, if you remember, I asked him, what are the expectations for the Cubs this season? He said Chicago Cubs should be somewhere in the mix of winning that division. They definitely – no, it wasn't Chris Ford. It was Kevin. Remember, it was Kevin Clark. It was Kevin Clark. We asked him when we was doing the NCAA tournament special. Okay. And asked Kevin, and he stated he expected good things from the Cubs this year. And here they are, bro. Second place in the National League. Cubs, man, I mean, it would be fantastic to see if they could get home field in the National League playoffs. because Wrigley Field is something special to behold in October. And so a lot of these names are not big names. Only big name we got on there really, bro, is that Dansby Swanson, Justin Turner, who came over from the Dodgers. We know about him. Matt Show has been a winner for most of his career. And then C.A. Suzuki.
No.
Other than that,
No. They got a big name.
now who's the other big name?
Kyle Tucker. That's the big name.
Wait, hold on. Oh, yes, Kyle Tucker. Yes. Now, Kyle Tucker, correct me if I'm wrong, he played for Houston, right? And he was a part of that championship team with Houston. Okay. Excuse me. All right. And so these are some big names for the Cubs, a few. Kyle Tucker, but definitely C.A. Suzuki.
PCA has been phenomenal for them as well.
Okay.
Pete Crow Armstrong.
That's center fielder.
Yeah, that's the guy. I know Suzuki's been good, but PCA, that's the one they've been talking about all on the radio lately. They talking about, I know you mentioned Suzuki for MVP, but they talking about PCA is up there too. So they probably got more than one player that can possibly win NL MVP, which is insane. I mean, the man got 15 home runs, 274 batting average. So they got a squad. I can't even front. I don't want to, speak too loudly because, you got people like, Chris and Victor and Abernathy and, all these diehard Cubs fans, how I feel about that. But nevertheless, no, I mean, no, like what you're saying that Kevin was saying about this team, like I've been hearing pretty much the whole year, like this is the Cubs division to lose. Like, and outside of the Cardinals who've been on a monster like run lately, like outside of them, like there's nobody else that's really in this division from what I see that can really compete with them. And I don't even know how good the Cardinals would be able to sustain what they're sustaining right now. But other than that, yeah, like the Cubs, went through the hardest part of their schedule already, and they, withstood all of that. They pretty much played all the games against the Dodgers already. They played, the Padres. I think they played the Phillies as well. Like they went through the hard part. So now they just pretty much beating up on the other mediocre and subpar teams at this point.
And so there's definitely room for them to grow at this point.
Yeah, they I know they lost Justin Steele, one of their pitchers early on for the season. So maybe they may add another pitcher at the deadline. But other than that, man, team is good. They got the best, point differential in the NL at plus 91. I mean, that's really good. They're 7-3 in their last 10. I mean, their home record and their away record is pretty much identical. They're 18-11 at home, 17-11 on the road. Like that's
right.
And I would say the biggest thing from last year to this year, last year they had the most blown one-run saves or something like that last year. It was something insane. They lost like almost 30 games like that. They're pretty much finishing games. Their offense is dynamic. They're putting up.
Yeah, I think they got the best offense in the MLB.
I think they're tied. I'm looking at it. They're tied with the Dodgers at 322 runs scored already. That's crazy. Which is the most in the league. So yeah, man, they are a good team. I know. I got to give them
right. Right. And so this is awesome, man. And so this is good for Chicago, man. When the Cubs are good, Chicago is, at least a few folks are happy. And so looking at these standings, though, yeah, LA and the Cubs, same record, both first place in their division. Cardinals, the Cardinals, they are 3 games behind the Cubs. Padres, as we expect, and the Giants, as we expect every year, Jamar. The NL West is a gauntlet. And that division always produces, it could produce 4 sometime, literally. But at least 3, if not 2. But definitely, generally it's 3 because every year San Diego, San Francisco's right there fighting for that wild card. It's been the same for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
They right there every year. And Philadelphia, I'm glad to see them first place in their division, Jamar. But the Mets are pushing them as expected. I mean, the Mets do got Juan Soto, and you
And
know
they,
how
I'm
much
gonna
money.
say they better be pushing them. Yeah, just based on how much they paid that man, they better be up there.
Right. So the Mets, Cubs, and Dodgers all got the same record, and they all one game behind Philly for the best record the National League. And so Philly, yeah, Matt, Bryce Harper, those guys, they've been doing their thing over there for a while. They veterans at this point.
Yeah.
Um, no excuses for the Los Angeles Angels. Once again, Bryce Harper. I mean, not Bryce Harper, Matt Trout, Mike Trout, my favorite player of all time. Underachieving again. I don't know what the excuse is, but once again, Mike Trout and the LA Angels, trash, nowhere near the playoffs. But he's the greatest player of all time, according to folks. On the other hand, the Detroit Tigers, bro, they have the best record in baseball. And the White Sox, I'm a little bit surprised, bro. They actually 18-39. I thought they'd be like 9-49 or something at this
Oh,
point.
you thinking of the Rockies? That's what you thinking of.
No, I'm just saying the Rockies are terrible. The Rockies, they are awful. Yes, you are right. They are 9-48. They are 9-48. They are awful. But I'm surprised the White Sox have won
I,
18 out of 57 games, bro. I
I,
really am because
I'm
I didn't have
I'm
no
not.
expectations for that.
I'm not. It's like because it's like, look, last year was the ultimate rock bottom, so the only way to go was up. So it's like you can't repeat that performance,
Mm-hmm.
even if they tried to a certain degree. No, they you can see progression from last year by far. You can see it,
Definitely.
and there's some of these games they lost that it was actually pretty close in too. So it's there's a little hope. The Rockies, people not talking, but they on a pace to even be worse than the White Sox last year, and I hope they do. I hope they do. So
Yeah,
the
that'll be
White Sox
nice.
name won't be attached to
They
that
done
team.
fired their manager and everything already, bro.
Yeah, dude, that's horrid.
Yeah,
That is,
it is a terrible show right now in Denver. Over there with the Rockies.
dude.
Uh,
Their differential is minus 177.
that's bad.
177. They're
I don't
one
know if
in
folks know that for baseball, but that's a lot. That mean they getting their ass whooped.
like every game. They're 1-9 in the last 10. They lost 6 straight. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
you
Let
gotta
me
punch
ask you
through
this
that.
really quickly, bro. So right now the Dodgers are one game out. It's very early in the season. Um, is it the Dodgers? Is this still their? Is this still that World Series to lose, bro?
I think so. I still believe that. It's like a couple things for me. Like one, they're defending champs. Um, two, you know, like Mookie Betts, he out. He fractured his toe, I think, or something like that yesterday. Or
Mm-hmm.
like they're not even at full strength. Like, and technically last year they weren't even at full strength because we didn't even get the pitching version of Shohei. So it's like we don't even know what they are like at the full height of their ability, at their ceiling. We don't even know what their ceiling is yet. But we know that they could be a better version of themselves.
Right.
It's like when it comes down to it, this team each and every year is built for October. And it's crazy because at one point in time, maybe about like 18 years ago, when they first started to get pretty good, and they just couldn't get over that hump. And it's like, man, when are they actually gonna do it? Then they actually did it, and now this version of the team from last year, like this is a juggernaut. So regardless of what the record is, because dude, as you know, Brandon, in baseball, it's really not how you start. It's really how you finish. And when you're hot at the right time, then it's like
Yeah.
it's nothing you can really do. So I still feel like that is still the team to beat. Like I like where the Cubs are at, and some of these other teams, like this is making it pretty exciting. Like it is. And the last thing I'll say in regards to all this, look, I'm glad somebody in this city got to be winning some games and have a positive vibe about them. One of the I guess legendary baseball commentators or sports commentators, forgot his name. I think he's Joe Buck's dad. But he said something along the lines of, "There's no better feeling knowing that you are calling a baseball team that is good, knowing that they're gonna, for those 6 months that your team is gonna have a shot to win it all." Basically, meaning like every day you wake up as a fan knowing that, hey, let's say the Cubs are playing, like good vibes. More than likely we're gonna win. Like it's just good energy every day for 6 months. Like that's a good feeling. Like if the White Sox was good again, then like, hey, that's a good feeling. Like, hey, I'm gonna tune in, watch my team win tonight. Let's go. So those are vibes we definitely need around here. I'm glad at least one team is living up to that. So
right. So yeah, shout out to the Chicago Cubs, man. They are doing pretty well, and they got some big names over there. And yeah, they made a manager change this offseason, man. Brought in one of their former players who helped win that World Series back in 2016. And so this is great, man. And so that being said, Jamar, before we conclude, we got to talk Chicago Sky. And so just curious, bro. Chicago Sky, they 1-4. They got their first win actually a couple nights ago. They pulled out a close game over the Dallas Wings, and so they're 1-4. But thus far, there's been a lot of concerns. But one I really must say, Camila Cardoso, she had a really good game. She had 23 points, and I'm so proud of her because I've been thinking she's been the key for us. I said that before the season. I've continuously been saying it, especially since Kennedy Carter's not here anymore. But question: are the Chicago Sky struggling, bro, because of recent decisions made from the front office, or what's basically happening with Chicago Sky? Because right now they look pretty bad, bro.
Yeah, they do look terrible. I mean, they barely just beat a Dallas team who is not good right now either. So it's like, yeah, that's not a good look. And like you said, they squeaked by on that one. I saw the highlights of the game. They squeaked by. I think it's a number of things, man. I mean, look, we've seen plenty of bad organizations in this city. We have seen it, and I feel like the common denominator with each and every one, it starts at the very top. At the very top, it's a reflection of the whole organization. If you have a bad owner, then it's just gonna reflect everywhere because there's gonna be bad decisions made and personnel issues and development problems, this and that. So I feel like it starts there, but but it's a number of things, man, from the coaching to the personnel moves.
Well, yeah, they let go of Teresa Weatherspoon. They only gave her one season. Yeah, they hired they gave her one season, bro. That was it. Then they hired a first-time head coach at any level. First-time head coach at any level, dog. He was like assistant his whole career, but first-time head coach at any level, dog. Let go of Kennedy Carter. Remember last year they had Marina Murray, the girl that could shoot the ball. Yeah. They let her go to the Connecticut Sun. She went there to compete for a championship last year. Then they traded. They gave up draft picks in order to get Angel Reese because they traded up last year. So those 5 things right there that I can think of at the top of my head. And that's not even mentioning the development, I feel like, of Angel Reese and Camilla because they not where I thought they would be. But especially Angel, dog. Have you seen, man?
I know. and I try to, and it's like I try to defend her but it's kind of hard to continue to defend what isn't prominent. I was hoping that 3-on-3 league, she was actually looking better, and then we come back here and it's like, is this the same story again? Like, here we go. So yeah, I feel the same way you do. I feel like them drafting Haley Van Lith, like I feel like that's been a bright spot. Like she can play.
She can play.
So
Yeah.
they just need to get her on the court more. I feel like at this point, you just gotta let your young talent play and just let them develop. But you need somebody that can help them develop, though. That was the thing, and I thought Weatherspoon would have been the person to do that, but you got rid of her so quick. Like I thought she would have been a great person to help develop, especially the bigs, like something. But I mean, and neither here nor there right now. But yeah, I feel like you need to let the younger players play at this point. Just let them figure it out. Let them just go play. Get you some veterans in the background that can, teach them the way how things go. But just you gotta let them play, and at this play the long game, because I mean short game we not competing for crap at this point. So just play the long game, get draft capital. At this point, hey, if you gotta wait 2 years for Juju, by all means wait 2 years for Juju, because at this point I don't know what else there's to do. There's too many juggernauts in the league for them to overcome in that 2 year period. Just go get you a bona fide start in the draft and call it a day, because I don't know what else to do.
I like that. Tank for Juju.
Like for real. Like I don't even, I hate the idea of tanking, but I mean, heck, for her, right, out of all players that's left, right, that's coming up the ranks, and as we've been seeing the last few years, like the women's college basketball has been prominent and has been developing some great stars that's entering this league here. And we already had great stars in the league, but they just bringing more publicity to it and generate more interest and stuff like that. So it's been fabulous. But Juju, and we've been knowing Juju for a long time. We've been hearing about her in high school, and Juju is that girl. She is that person. She's the real deal. So I would love to have Juju find her way to Chicago somehow, some way when it's time. But,
right.
Yeah, man. I feel the same way you do. I do.
Yeah, that's a heck of a thought, man. I love to see that too. I love to see that. And so we're gonna see, man, how things progress with the Chicago Sky. But right now, it's not looking so good. And so hopefully things progress and they can be a good team. But right now, it ain't look so good. So with that being said, bro, I don't know what else we got for the pod this morning, dog. Right now, I don't know if you got anything else on your mind, but I'm here.
I'm trying to think of something so we can tap into Ian's basement this morning without Ian.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of something here. Matter of fact, let's go to the basement real quick. So I know we kind of talked about it last week, but I really want to hear your thoughts here. Because as you know, the NFL is king, so I'm going NFL here. And I'm going with our team here. Between like all the moves, Caleb in the book and all this other stuff, and Ben Johnson and the draft picks, and like I don't think I've really heard your thoughts on the Bears and the schedule and everything else, just the aura, OTAs, mandatory mini practice next week and all this stuff. Like training can't be here in like 5-6 weeks.
Yeah.
Like where do you stand with the Chicago Bears right now and everything they have done to this point?
Right. So in regards to the Bears making off-season moves, them getting Joe Thuney, them getting, they had a pretty decent draft kid from Missouri, Colston Loveland out of Michigan. So, they got some more weapons. And, from what I've been hearing and what I've seen, actually, via my YouTube, etc.
Yeah.
You know, they've been pretty competitive. Team looks really fast, from what I hear. But a lot of what I'm thinking honestly ain't good. I just gotta see it, Jamar. It's the Bears. And I love the Bears. I do. But I gotta see it from them. They get on my fucking nerve. Excuse my French. It's like the bad relationship you being in, but you just always go back because you love that person. And it's like, why the hell am I going back? It's like me going to a Bears game and walking up in the stadium, bro, and I'm saying to myself, why the hell am I here? I know why I'm here, but why am I here? You know, like that's literally what it is with the Bears. And so everything they did, bro, it looks so good on paper. Because last year we said the same thing. And the year before that, we said the same thing. Oh, we say, yes, Justin Fields got his development now. He looked really good the previous year. That was a lot of great spots. But at this point, I don't care anymore because I just need to see it. Ian, morning, bro. I think Ian, he feel the same way. It's time to show and prove. Like the Bears, they have made moves. It's just we gotta see it now. We gotta get some wins. And the way that schedule look, Jamal, I don't know how many wins they gonna get. They got a tough ass schedule this year. They got one of the toughest schedules, at least from what I saw with my eyes, based off of the teams and how they looked last year. The Bears got a lot of tough road games too, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna have to really prove some stuff this year. And so for me, to be honest with you, I hate to be the Grim Reaper or the Dark Man, but I ain't excited.
No,
What was yours?
that's fair. I mean, I would say a lot of people probably feel the way you do. That's totally fair because based on history, it shows that you can have all this hype. Like anytime that you have hype around the team, the Bears, they definitely don't live up to expectations at all.
Definitely don't.
It'd be the years where you don't think they'll be good, and all of a sudden, oh snap, we in the playoffs. Here we go. Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, heck, that's the reason why Ian, left home and went to Detroit, and he also went to the Steelers. He went to the Jets now, and Ian also is in Carolina, and he got a spot in Arizona. Ian is somewhere everywhere, and I get it. We need to. I'm trying to reel Ian back home. I'm trying to make him a believer that the Bears might be good again. I'm trying, man. It's a hard sell. No, but
right.
in all seriousness, I might be the one that'd be a little bit more, I guess, optimistic this year. I mean, heck, I might end up being the one, wearing the clown makeup every Sunday and telling you like, hey, they gonna win it, and no, they not. But I might be that person this year, and it's because for me, yeah.
You going? What is it that Don stated last year? He stated, "I'm going down with the ship riding" or something like that. And so
Yeah.
I feel like that's what you are with the Bears, bro. They could be trash as hell. You're gonna find a real good way to make it sound good and believe in your heart wholeheartedly that the Bears.
Yeah, unless I know for a fact that this team is just all the way just terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And I just know I can't like lie to myself anymore about that. No, but in all seriousness, like, look, just based on what happened last year, based on the moves this year, just look, like the Bears won 5 games last year, if I'm not mistaken. Was it 5? Mm-hmm. 5.
Yeah, 5 and 12.
It was so many games. It was at least 4 to 5 games. The Bears should have won, and they end up losing due to like bad decisions, just bad management, whatever it is. It was just bad. Mm-hmm. And I felt like a lot of that was coaching. I mean, some of it was just, players and their attitude and their body language. It was a lot of different things. And I feel like the way that I'm hearing so far from Ben Johnson and the way that he actually, how he runs his practices and the fact that they actually have a legitimate, real coaching staff that you see that's getting after the players and holding them accountable. There was no accountability under the Eberflus era. It reminds me of the Mark Trestman era. At least the Bears scored points in that era. But he couldn't hold nobody accountable. But for Eberflus, there was no accountability. None whatsoever. And the players just pretty much did what they wanted to do, and they lose. It was like whatever. They didn't really care about that dude no more. When you start having players going to the media talking about, I want to be coached harder, like that's a red flag. You don't hear that now. Like none of that, all that's out the window. And look at my background. I am dedicated. It's okay. And Ian, I'm trying to get you back home. I'm trying to bring you back home. That's my job. This Bears season is to get Ian back to Chicago. Ian has been floating around the whole country trying to find a home because he abandoned his team.
Look, Ian, bro. I'm just giving Jamar the floor and just letting Jamar talk his stuff because I'm kind of thinking of my background. Honestly, in my head, I'm thinking Jamar sound crazy as hell. I'm just thinking in my head, he sound crazy as hell, but I'm going to go ahead and just give him the floor. I'm going to let him be optimistic and let him just believe and let him just go ahead and believe and believe and believe. And so, go ahead, Jamar. The floor is yours.
I'm almost done. I'm almost done. See, there's hope. There's hope. See. Ian said they're good this year. I'll be back. Okay, so we got a foundation. We got a blueprint here. All right, so no, and okay. All right. So lastly, I'm gonna wrap it up. No, so I feel like the Bears on offense is gonna be better by default. So I think Ben Johnson is going to actually bring the best out of Caleb Williams and this skill set and their mindset of how the things go. If he can do what he did with Jared Goff, knowing Jared Goff at the time, as that trade happened, when he went to the Rams to the Lions, as we thought Jared Goff's career was about to be done going to die, he pretty much rejuvenated that man and gave that man a second life and a new contract.
Jamar, I'm gonna let you finish your point. I just want to point out really quickly though, there were flashes of greatness from Jared Goff in LA, dog. I've been saying that, and I know people was getting on me when I was talking about the debate between Matthew Stafford and what. Yes, he went ahead and brought that Super Bowl to LA. But I was saying y'all remember we got it on footage. I kept saying I felt like that there were a lot of flashes of greatness with Jared Goff. But with Caleb Williams, I don't know what flashes we got from him other than USC. So I'm not too sold on Caleb. He got to prove it too, damn it. He got to prove it.
So
what has he done thus far?
So you haven't seen any flashes last year at all?
Okay, yes, I saw a few throws. But my biggest question I got from him is his leadership. It's something always in the media bag coming out about him. And
you're right.
All that does is bring less morale to the team. It's like having a person on your team that you can't trust because they feel like they're going to go behind your back and talk about you. That's what I kind of feel like about Caleb. I feel like he's the type that act like this in the media and then go behind everybody back and say this and do that and act this way and just kind of create like some bitch assness vibes,
Now, I get you. Now, my question is, my question to that is, now, is that because that's, him just being him, or is that because the product of the environment last year because there was no accountability to even do anything about all of that stuff, all the crazy stuff? Because to my understanding, like Eberflus then, like what did he do to help stabilize and support your franchise quarterback that you took number 1 overall? What did he do?
He did. He tried to make some moves, but he didn't do much. And so I hear you on that end, bro. I hear you on that end. But the thing is my point is this, Jamar. We've been saying it for years now that Matt Eberflus, Mark Trestman, John Fox, Matt Nagy, all held guys accountable. They all were changing the culture. We've been saying the same thing. And honestly, I could hear this from Ben Johnson, and I hear what you're saying, but I still got to see it, because we could hear about stuff and hear about what's been happening in the organization. But if it don't translate to wins, then we're going to begin to have more questions again. It just based off of prior history, which is, again, what me and Ian are saying, and is boiling down to the conversation about the Bears. It's more of just everybody has to show and prove. But we appreciate you, Jamar, being the optimist here, because you're being the different guy here. You're being the outlier here, because you're the one that's being optimistic when a lot of Bears fans, you know good and damn well. And I love it, Jamar, because this is real type stuff here. You are the optimist here, because everybody has plenty of reason to be pessimistic about the Bears, especially when you hear about stuff in the media about the quarterback saying this and saying that and doing this and doing that. It just adds to the pessimism. And we appreciate, though, that you are being the optimist person, and being the loner here, because it takes a lot of guts to do what you're doing right now, bro. So just want to give you kudos, man, because I think you're a little bit crazy at times.
Hey, look, I don't mind rocking to the beat of my own drum. If I'm by myself, I'll be by myself. I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable in my own skin in that regard. And as far as in the last thing in last week, with the Bears, like, yeah, I get it. Like I said, I get why a lot of people feel the way we got to actually see some evidence. That's the word I've been throwing out on this show for a long time. Evidence.
Mm-hmm.
So the evidence that I've gotten to this point is the fact that Ben Johnson has been so transparent in his comments that he has with the media. Like, he is transparent. Eberflus was never transparent at all. It's been transparent and accountability. People.
Now that's a good point. Eberflus has to go straight to the media and lie, knowing damn well he messed up the game. We were thinking to do this at this time. We were thinking, like, stop.
He never admitted that he was wrong about something, or like, yeah, that's my fault. I'll, never any of that. Like, Ben Johnson has been a breath of fresh air. And sometimes you have some. Look, I'll close it with this. And it was my Facebook status yesterday. I pretty much said that it's hard to focus on the puzzle when you just focused on, little pieces, a few pieces. You got to focus on the whole picture. And so,
right.
I feel like the whole picture is this team is going to be better than what people think they are this year. So that's why I'm optimistic.
Now, when you say better, how much better?
I mean, I told you last week. I said I got them winning 10.
Right. 10 games.
Yep.
All right.
With the second hardest schedule in the league based on players, teams' records last year. I got them winning 10.
Yes. And so, yeah, this would be incredible. One thing that's a sure fact about Jamar is Jamar definitely predicts a lot of great things. He predicts a lot of wins for teams. He has a very good, solid track record of this. And so, if you say it, bro, I'm listening, and we're listening, because I know for sure that you have good evidence in believing that the Chicago Bears will come out. They will surprise folks with that hard schedule, and that they will win 10 games, not 5 games, y'all. Did y'all hear me? 10 games. Jamar has the Bears on record winning 10 games. And so this means that the Chicago Bears will come out and they will surprise some people. And to show my Bears love, I will put the background on there to let you know, Jamar, that we are rocking with you. And that for most of us, show and prove, we just want to see results from the Bears. We want to see some W's. We want to see some improvement. We want to see some changes. We want to see some offense, some scoring. and we want to see some good football, and we want to see a great leader in Caleb Williams. Not in the media talking shit, not in the media talking about books. We want to see victories, W's, wins, Gagnes, Varicis, wins. Okay, that's what we need to see in Chicago with the Bears. All right, so hopefully this time there's some accountability, and the accountability is consistent. And so Caleb will be fine if Ben Johnson is the truth. All right. Yes. So yeah, we're gonna see. And if they are good this year, I'll be back. And so
hear that, Chicago? Hear that, Bears? Yeah. Hallis Hall, get Ian home. Bring Ian home.
Bring Ian home, man. The truth is that the Bears got so many people that they're tired. It's just like being in a relationship with a person that's bringing you stress and problems. What do they say? A toxic relationship.
Yeah.
That's what the Bears is. It's a toxic relationship. You go to the person's home, you're like, why the hell am I here? Why am I at Soldier Field? Why did I spend all this money, Jamar? Why did I buy all this stuff from the concession stands and do all this just to watch the Bears lose? And so hopefully we can have good reason this time and, be proud of our Bears. Be proud, man. Be proud. And so, Jamar, that was great, man. Thanks for thinking of something for Ann's Basement. Fantastic. Holding our brother down, man. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And so, Jamar, as we always have to do as we go into the weekend, must action. Any final thoughts and shout outs as we head into the weekend?
Man, Indiana, the Pacers. Look, we haven't seen y'all in the NBA Finals since, Reggie Miller, Rick Smits, Jalen Rose, Travis Best, Dale Davis, Antonio Davis.
Right.
We haven't seen it. I understand y'all lost 4-2 to the Lakers in the finals that year, but hey, I know for a fact the Pacers fans and 465 and all them would appreciate if you beat the Knicks tonight. So what I'm saying is definitely enjoy good basketball. I definitely will be watching one way or another. Brandon, we pretty much in June, which means after the finals we on hiatus. So I'm definitely enjoying these moments until I break. So let's keep it moving until then, my brother.
Yeah. And I'm with you, man. Yeah, we got probably at best 2 more weeks before we hit our scribe for break. And so just hoping that we get some good basketball. One thing we always state, man, is to love, live life. Be careful out there. Chicago, put the guns down. Love your family. Like Boosie State, love your family. And continue to put God first in all things. And we got a lot of great sports. Indiana, tonight is the night. Got to get it done. If not, it's going to be a thriller in Manila come Monday night in New York. So with that being said, on behalf of the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, we would like to say thank you for tuning in with us this morning. Continue to chop it up with us and support our podcast on various platforms. And if you would love to talk sports with us on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast, we are here and would love to do so with you. Your love, support is truly appreciated, and we hope you all have a blessed and safe weekend. Peace.